Have you ever felt an unexplainable sadness despite everything seeming fine? Imagine this: your best friend just got promoted and bought a new car, yet they lie awake at night, overwhelmed by worries. Or someone achieves a lifelong dream but still feels an emptiness inside. These aren't rare stories. Exhausting jobs, family pressures, invisible loneliness, self-doubt, they're all ways that suffering manifests in our lives. Many of us believe that attaining wealth, fame, or love will bring happiness. But often, that joy is fleeting, leaving us yearning for something else. The harsh reality is that life is inherently filled with suffering. In this video, we'll explore the four noble truths, universal experiences that everyone encounters. The Buddha illuminated these truths and showed us how to embrace them in the simplest way. The first truth: life is suffering. Suffering isn't just about pain, it's a reality everyone must face. When the Buddha said, "Life is suffering, dukkha," many misunderstood it as a pessimistic view. In truth, it's the courage to see life as it truly is, without sugarcoating, avoidance, or illusion. In Buddhism, suffering encompasses all forms of dissatisfaction, instability, incompleteness, and lack, even during moments we perceive as happiness. Let's delve into four universal forms of suffering that everyone faces. 1. Birth, aging, illness, and death, inescapable realities. Birth, not just the moment of being born, but the pain of starting anything new. A newborn's cry reflects the unfamiliarity and insecurity of the world. Adults, too, feel anxiety and loneliness when embarking on new jobs or relationships. This birth is also a form of suffering. Aging, each wrinkle tells a story of time. Have you noticed your mother becoming forgetful or moving slower? Or looked in the mirror and been startled by gray hairs or less youthful skin? Aging isn't just biological, it's the gradual loss of values we once held dear. Illness, no one wants to feel pain, but our finite bodies are bound to malfunction. From simple colds to severe diseases like cancer, illness makes us feel vulnerable and dependent. Many possess wealth and fame, but a single illness can shatter everything. They realize that health is the greatest asset, often unappreciated until it's gone. Death, an inevitable end we prefer not to contemplate. Have you witnessed the bewildered eyes of someone nearing death? Or felt numbness as a loved one lay silently in a coffin? Death doesn't just end life, it severs all attachments we've clung to: fame, possessions, relationships, success, all rendered meaningless. 2. Separation and loss, internal fractures. No one lives without experiencing separation. You might have faced a first love ending, even though feelings remained, but paths diverged. A childhood friend with whom you've lost contact and shared laughter. A loved one's sudden passing, leaving no chance for final words. Each separation is a small death of the soul. You may go about daily life, smiling and functioning, but your heart feels a void. This pain isn't loud or bloody, it lingers silently, like a thorn deep under the skin. In today's world, separation often comes from growing apart rather than complete loss. An ex still appears on social media but no longer shares your world. Their presence evokes regret, longing, and helplessness. 3. Unfulfilled desires, when effort doesn't equal outcome. Have you ever poured your heart into something, only to face failure? A dedicated student spends 2 years preparing for medical school, only to fail the entrance exam, breaking down in tears, unable to face their parents. A woman invests a decade waiting for a marriage proposal from her beloved, only to learn he's married someone else. An entrepreneur exhausts all resources to open a dream store, but 6 months later, must close due to lack of customers. Desires stem from belief, but without understanding, belief becomes a burden. We're often unprepared for failure. Society teaches us that effort guarantees success, but life isn't that simple. The gap between wanting and reality breeds suffering. The higher the expectation, the deeper the disappointment. 4. Fragile values, happiness like bubbles. Have you achieved something, a first home, a dream partner, a promotion, and felt immense joy, but only briefly? A man buys a luxury car, then worries about scratches, warranty expiration, and newer models. A woman attains her ideal body after a year of training, but starts comparing herself to Instagram models, feeling still not good enough. A new mother, after giving birth, frets that her child lags behind the neighbor's baby, feeling pressured in parenting. We live in an era abundant in conveniences but lacking in contentment. Comparison, fear of loss, envy, they transform perceived achievements into fragile illusions. Modern life's joys resemble bubbles, shimmering, delicate, and fleeting. Understanding these 4 universal sufferings reveals that suffering isn't your fault, it's a characteristic of life itself. Recognizing this doesn't lead to negativity, instead, it's the beginning of awakening. Only by acknowledging our wounds can we begin to heal. You might wonder, if everything involves suffering, why and how do we continue seeking happiness? The second truth unveils the deeper cause. But first, ponder this. Are you ready to acknowledge and see the suffering in your own life? Understanding the cause, the second truth. We've recognized that life inherently involves suffering. The next question is, why does this happen? The second noble truth in Buddhism provides the answer. The cause of suffering, samadaya, stems from our own desires, attachments, and ignorance. Consider moments of heartbreak. Is it because you yearned for something unattainable or feared losing what you had? For instance, craving someone's attention leads to anxiety when they're momentarily unavailable. Desiring a stable life causes anger and disappointment when plans falter. In reality, our likes and dislikes disrupt our peace. According to the Buddha, craving, like adding fuel to a fire, intensifies our inner turmoil. Bottomless desire. In today's tech-driven world, we're enticed by endless novelties, clothes, gadgets, travel, even social media likes. Each acquisition or acknowledgement sparks a desire for more, like an unquenchable thirst. Even minor achievements feel insufficient when others have more, leading to insecurity. This insatiable craving never truly satisfies. Fear of loss and clinging. Have you ever held on to something, love, job, belief, thinking it would last forever? When changes occur, the unexpected pain is profound. Attempting to control relationships or the future breeds constant anxiety. Clinging to what we perceive as ours binds us to suffering. Illusion of a fixed self, ignorance, lack of true understanding, makes us believe in an unchanging self. Despite the world's constant flux, we act as if our identity is permanent. The traits and images we associate with self become sources of suffering. Criticism wounds us, aging alarms us. Imagine our minds as ever-flowing streams. Desires create waves that disrupt this natural flow. When rapids, challenges, losses arise, we struggle to navigate peacefully. Real-life example: a young man dreams of building his own company. Driven by a thirst for success, he works tirelessly, demanding perfection. When initial failures occur, a project flops or a client withdraws, he collapses mentally and financially, because he clung to the image of "I must succeed." Conversely, if he understood setbacks as part of the journey, the failures would be more bearable. His relentless craving amplified his suffering. By letting go of that fixed image, e.g., preparing backup plans, believing in his worth despite failures, his suffering diminishes. In modern psychology, this is known as the thought trap. We create idealized versions of ourselves or our happiness, then suffer when reality deviates slightly. For example, expecting constant happiness, when platforms like Netflix or Instagram suggest everyone's happy, why aren't you, leads to unnecessary anxiety. Through this second noble truth, you now understand, all sorrows and pains we experience originate from our minds. It's not because the universe is malicious, but because we haven't grasped how our minds operate. The universe challenges us to prepare for greater transformations. Liberation and transformation, the third and fourth truths. After recognizing suffering and understanding its root cause, we arrive at the path to inner freedom. The third noble truth, Nirodha, declares, suffering can end. This may sound contradictory. How can suffering end without ending life? In truth, it means we can change how we perceive and respond to suffering. Picture someone walking through the darkness. The moment they realize they're in a dangerous place, they light a torch. It doesn't erase the night, but it shows the path. Similarly, ending suffering isn't about eliminating all discomfort, it's about understanding it, so it no longer controls us. Liberation isn't emotional numbness. A person who overcomes fear or anger still experiences those emotions, but responds to them differently, with calm awareness instead of chaos. Letting go of ego attachment, when we stop placing ourselves at the center of everything, even gains and losses become lighter. For example, recognizing the difference between I feel disappointed and I am a disappointment makes a world of difference in healing. Simple joy, this doesn't come from always getting what we want, but from a state of inner ease, living with gratitude and loving kindness, no matter the circumstance. Reaching this point is like glimpsing the horizon. But to walk toward it, we need a path, the fourth noble truth, the Noble Eightfold Path. The Buddha outlined 8 principles we can follow, translated here into modern language. Right view, see life clearly, with mindfulness. Understand that all things change, that happiness isn't permanent, and suffering can be a teacher, e.g., failure is a part of growth. Right intention, cultivate thoughts of compassion and liberation. Rather than feeding endless desire, shift your mindset to include goodwill, even for those who have hurt you. Right speech, speak with kindness and truth. Encourage rather than harm, avoid gossip, and be honest with yourself and others. Right action, act ethically. Not only avoid harm, but engage in deeds that uplift others, help someone in need, protect the environment, serve your community. Right livelihood, choose work that aligns with your values. Your job should benefit others, not just generate income. Right effort, commit to personal growth. Let go of harmful habits and nurture wholesome ones, whether through meditation, reading, exercise, or skill building. Right mindfulness, stay present. Be fully engaged in the now, whether painting, writing, or doing the dishes. Awareness is peace. Right concentration, train the mind to focus deeply. Through meditation or stillness, you realize the ego is just a shadow, not your true self. Practicing the Eightfold Path today doesn't mean rejecting modern life. It means integrating inner peace with a dynamic world. Use technology mindfully, right mindfulness, balance work with rest, right effort, and approach conflict with empathy, right speech and intention. Each small act is a step toward liberation. The final reflection. The first 3 noble truths show us life as it is, filled with suffering and its causes. The last 2 guide us into a new reality, one shaped by freedom and meaning. The Buddha and the universe don't ask us to become someone else. They invite us to look deeply within and live with wisdom and love. Challenges may still arise, life offers no promise of smooth sailing. But now, you've learned how to steer the boat, how to read the waves. So let me ask you this, now that you've seen the 4 noble truths, recognized suffering, understood its root, and glimpsed the path to freedom, how will you move forward? Perhaps your answer lies in your own stillness, where suffering softens, and a new life quietly begins to bloom. May you live in peace.